Alright, you guys, hello and welcome to the most exciting day of online math class. Today we're joined by the sleepy dog, Mamie, and we're going to be learning about solutions and roots, which are, of course, the same thing, and inequalities in reverse order. Guys, inequalities, it's exactly what it sounds like, you know? We all go through our own personal struggles, and unfortunately, we don't live in a communist country. We live in America, where things are unequal. The way we get through those or represent those problems in mathematics is with our little symbols. Instead of an equal sign, we're going to be using a less than sign when y is greater than our equation. The bottom side is shaded. When our equation is greater than y, the top side is shaded. You guys might be wondering why the lines have been dashed and why they've been solid like this one. Well, that's because in these equations, you notice that there's no equal sign. It only says less than or more greater than. Anyway, to get to the solutions of these problems and all our inequalities, you need to set up a system of inequalities. But we'll get to the root of that later. Roots in mathematics is whenever your equation or function is set equal to 0. So right here at y equals 0. Our roots for this particular function are -1 and -5. And we're gonna find a new cool way to figure out what our roots are without having a graph. Everybody's favorite part in math, factoring. Before we begin this section, I'd like to invite you guys to be present in the moment. Please close your eyes. If you feel uncomfortable closing your eyes, please stare at the palms of your hands to be respectful of others in the room, or in this case, your own room, wherever you're watching this video. When you hear the sound of the bell, listen as long as you can. Bring attention to your breath. If your mind wanders, that's okay. Just bring focus back to your breath. Feel your chest rising, then falling. When you hear the sound of the bell, listen as long as you can. When you can hear the sound no longer, slowly and gently open your eyes and bring your attention to your computer screen. Alright guys, let's say you have this particular equation and you're asked to factor. First step to doing that is to ask yourself what numbers multiply to give you 5 and which of those multiples add together to give you 6? Just two-step process. Here we go. Factors, multiples, things that multiply. What are the factors of 5? Let's think about that. 5 times 1, that's equal to 5. And which of those multiples add up to make 6? 5 plus 1. Wouldn't you know that? Okay. One more time, just so you guys all get it. Not feel rushed or anything. What are the factors that make 5? Okay, 1 times 5. And which of those factors add together to make 6? The middle term. 5 and 1. Okay, so there we have our little equation. Those two things check out. And so now we can put them in an equation in factored form. This is wrong, I think. Wait, no, it's right. Yeah, it is right. So you notice that we get x plus 5 and x plus 1, but our roots are -5 and -1. Why is that? Well, when you set the equation equal to 0, you remember that you like break them up, and then if you put in -5 plus 5, that's 0. 0 times anything is 0, so that's a root. If you put in -1 plus 1, you get 0. 0 times anything is also a root. I don't want to confuse you too much with that, though. Anyway, the way to check your work is to use the FOIL method to get it back to perfect. FOIL, first thing you gotta do, you're going to take the first term, multiply it with the first term on the other side. Then you take the outer term, get the two terms on the outside, multiply them together. Then you're going to take the inner terms, in this case 5 times x, multiply them together. And then the last term, 5 times 1, and multiply them together. That's all you gotta do. And when you add 1x plus 5x, they're like terms because they only have an x to the power of 1, so you can add them together. You get 6. And there you go. This is the same equation as that. We just proved it. And when this equation is equal to 0, blah, blah, blah. You set x to -5 and x to -1, and you'll get 0. 0 times anything is 0. So those are your roots. It's the opposite of whatever the number you made is. It's extremely important to remember. That's it. The end. Thanks, you guys.